Matilda's claws clicked against the obsidian floor of the Galactic Cartography Institute as she studied the holographic display before her. The Zelthari researcher had spent 3 decades mapping trade routes across the known universe, but today, she noticed something that made her twin heart skip a beat. The map ended, not in the natural way of unexplored territories, marked with the standard gray haze of the unknown. No, this was different. The stellar cartography simply stopped at a clearly defined border, replaced by a void of absolute black. And at the center of that void, a single label, human space. You're staring at it again. Rocky's voice came from behind her. The young Dralkith intern had only been with the Institute for 6 cycles, his scales still bright with the emerald hue of youth. Don't you find it strange? Matilda asked, her tentacles gesturing at the anomaly. Every other species' territory is mapped in intricate detail. We have the Vryn's asteroid colonies down to the meter, the Cathak's hive worlds catalogued with precision. But here, she pointed at the black void. Nothing, just human space. Rocky's chromatic eyes dimmed, a sign of discomfort among his kind. The Council has always said humans prefer their privacy. Privacy? Matilda's laugh came out as a series of clicks. The separatist enclaves prefer privacy. The Void Monks prefer privacy. They get gray zones on the map, areas marked as restricted access. But humans? They get perfect blackness, as if their entire civilization has been redacted from reality itself. She pulled up her research terminal, cycling through decades of data. Look at this. 372 species have joined the Galactic Council in the last millennium. All of them have detailed maps publicly available, all except one. Maybe we should leave it alone, Rocky said softly, his tail curling around his legs, a defensive posture. But Matilda couldn't leave it alone. That was her fatal flaw, according to her clutchmates. Curiosity that bordered on obsession. Over the following weeks, she dove deeper. She discovered that the blackout wasn't just on maps. Historical records of human first contact were sealed under Level Omega classification, a security tier she didn't even know existed until now. Trade agreements with human corporations were negotiated through intermediaries. The few humans who served on council stations lived in separate quarters, and no one seemed to question why. I found something, Matilda told Rocky one evening, her voice trembling with excitement and fear. There's a junior diplomat from the Thex Federation who was stationed near human space 40 years ago. She's retired now, living on Salvation 7. I've requested an interview. Rocky's scales flushed orange with alarm. Matilda, please. Some mysteries exist for a reason. But she went anyway. The retired diplomat, a wizened Thex named Corallan, received Matilda in a modest dwelling overlooking the planet's crimson seas. The old being's 6 eyes held a weight that spoke of nightmares long harbored. You want to know about the humans? Corallan said before Matilda could even ask. You're not the first. You won't be the last. But you might be the only one I tell, because I'm old enough now that I don't fear the consequences. Matilda's recording device hummed quietly as Corallan spoke. 53 years ago, the Vashak Empire decided humans were weak, a young species barely spaceworthy, occupying prime real estate in a resource-rich sector. The Vashak were the greatest military power in the galaxy. 80 billion warriors, weapons that could crack planets, shields that had never been breached. Corallan's eyes closed, all 6 of them. The Vashak sent their grand fleet into human space. 15,000 warships. It took them 2 months to reach Earth. Not a single vessel returned. Matilda felt her blood chill. What happened to them? No one knows. The last transmission from the fleet admiral was 4 words. They're already here. Then silence. Absolute total silence. Corallan poured herself a drink with shaking appendages. The council sent scout ships to investigate. They found the Vashak fleet. All 15,000 ships drifting in the void, completely intact. No damage, no signs of battle, but every single crew member was gone. Gone? Dead? Gone. Vanished. As if they'd simply stepped out into space and disappeared. Corallan took a long drink. Except for one ship. On the bridge of the flagship, the council scouts found a message burned into the deck plating in perfect galactic standard. We do not start wars. We end them. Do not come here again. Matilda's tentacles had gone completely still. And the humans never explained? The humans sent a diplomatic envoy 3 days later. Very polite, very professional. They offered the council a simple agreement. Human space would remain private and unmapped. In exchange, humans would participate in galactic commerce, share select technologies, and cause no trouble. But their territory, their worlds, their capabilities would remain classified. The Council agreed in less than an hour. But surely someone has tried to investigate since then. Some rogue explorer, some 7 attempts, Corellin interrupted, all unofficial, all by individuals or groups acting without Council sanction. Ships entered the black zone around human space. Her voice dropped to barely a whisper. None returned. And each time, a human ambassador would visit the Council chambers to deliver a polite apology for the navigation accident and offer compensation to the families. Matilda left Corellin's home in a daze. When she returned to the Institute, Rocky was waiting for her, his scales pale with worry. "You found out, didn't you?" he asked. She could only nod. "So what now?" Matilda looked at the galactic map, at that perfect void of black where human space should be. She thought about the Vashok, the mighty Vashok, and their fleet of ghost ships. She thought about the words burned into metal. "We end them." Now, Matilda reached out and closed her research files, sealing them with a deletion code. "Now we do what everyone else does. We respect human privacy. We don't ask questions. And we make very, very sure that humanity remains our friend." Rocky's scales flickered with relief. "That's wise." "It's not wisdom," Matilda said quietly, staring at the black void. "It's survival." Outside the Institute's windows, a human freighter passed by, its running lights blinking peacefully in the station's traffic pattern. The ship looked ordinary, unremarkable, almost primitive compared to some of the galaxy's more advanced vessels. But Matilda noticed for the first time that every other ship in the traffic pattern gave it a wider berth than protocol required, and nobody seemed to think that was strange at all.